Hello and welcome to lesson 1 of writing a cover letter. My name is Geeta and I am the founder of Second Chance Academy. So I am super passionate about helping people excel in the areas of their life that they feel they just need a little leg up in, an extra helping hand. So let's dive in. I'm assuming, seeing as you're here, you need a cover letter. First things first, you absolutely cannot write a cover letter without having a job to apply to first. Well, technically you can. It is physically possible to do that. I just personally would not recommend it. Some people do choose to write a one-size-fits-all cover letter. A cover letter that they send out to an admin job, to a construction job, to a fast food job, to a retail job. Even though the people in the construction job and the retail job are looking for two very different things, sometimes people do just send them the same one. I really would advise against that. I know that the process of applying for jobs can be super stressful, especially if you're just trying to apply for as many jobs as you possibly can because you just really need a job. I get it. Believe me, I have been there. But if you are going to go to the effort of applying for jobs because you need one, you might as well give yourself the best chance of actually getting the job that you're applying for. And that is going to mean writing a cover letter that shows the person reading it that you are the best person for the job that they're advertising. And unfortunately, you just can't do that with a blanket one-size-fits-all cover letter. You need one that is tailored and written specifically for what that job is looking for. So, you're going to need a job advertisement. In your workbook, you will find a fake job advertisement that I've put together for a position at Happy Larry's Chicken. We can use this one just to practice. Now, if you would prefer, you can follow along this video and use all the same steps that I'm going to go through to apply for a real job advertisement that you actually want to get. But if you just are practicing at this point and you just want to get a feel for it first, you can follow along with the Happy Larry's Chicken advertisement instead. It's really up to you. Whatever's going to work best for you, do that. Now, if you are hoping to write this cover letter for an actual job, but you just don't have one of those yet, you don't have one to apply for, you haven't found one you're interested in, that's all right. Just hop online, go to Google and type in the name of whatever job hiring advertising website is prominent in your area. If it's Australia, like me, I would say have a look at Indeed or Seek. If you're not in Australia and you don't know what job advertisement sites are available for you where you are, just type into Google, find a job, get a job, job advertisements, and it will likely come up with ones that are specific to your area. Most of them allow you to search for jobs in your local town or your local region. Have a look through the ones that come up, and once you've found a job you want to apply for, come back to this video and work through the steps with us. Pause here if you need to do that. If you don't, let's get to it and apply for this job at Happy Larry's Chicken. Okay, the first thing that you want to do is have a really good look at the job description and determine what is it that they actually want you to do in this role and can you do it? The best way to do this is to skip straight to the section where they're talking about the role that you will actually be doing. The kind of heading that you're looking for is probably something along the lines of the job, the role, key selection criteria, responsibilities. Wherever there's a heading along those lines, just skip straight to it and have a look through and see which of those responsibilities or tasks that they're asking for do you have experience with or can you actually do. In order to do this, we're going to open up our workbooks to the first lesson. Now, if you're not using the workbook, that's okay. Just a couple of things to remember. One, make sure you're giving yourself really clear headings in your notepads or on your spare pieces of paper so that when you go back through your notes, it's really easy to find the information that you're looking for. And tip 2, make sure you keep all of that information together in the one workbook, the one notepad, or you're putting all those spare pieces of paper into a folder. Or if you're typing it up on your computer, that you're saving them all in the same folder, easy to access, maybe chuck it on the desktop so it's easy to find. That way, you don't end up having notes from lesson 1 over here and notes from lesson 2 over there and notes from lesson 3 on your computer. It's all in the one spot, easy to access. Do yourself a favor and just put it all in the one spot. Can't stress that enough. Without further ado, let's dive back into it. Now, you're going to want to write down in the space provided in the workbook or in your own notes every single skill in the job advertisement you're looking at, whether it's one of your own or whether it's Happy Larry's Chicken, which skills you know you can do. So if I was personally looking at this advertisement for Happy Larry's Chicken, I would say that I know I can do the following things because I have experience in them. Those would be take and handle customer orders with accuracy and efficiency, handle cash transactions and operate point of sale POS system, ensure the cleanliness and sanitization of food prep area, maintain stock levels and replenish supplies as needed, provide exceptional customer service, addressing customer inquiries and resolving issues promptly and courteously, collaborate with team members to ensure smooth operation during peak hours, assist in the opening and closing duties as assigned, strong communication skills and the ability to work effectively in a team, demonstrated ability to handle fast-paced and high-pressure situations, excellent attention to detail and a commitment to maintaining cleanliness and hygiene standards, flexibility to work various shifts, including weekends and holidays, positive attitude, enthusiasm, and a passion for delivering outstanding customer service, ability to multitask and prioritize tasks effectively. Now, you might have a very similar list to the one that I've got there if you're looking at Happy Larry's Chicken. You might have a very different list. Regardless, do try to be specific to yourself. Don't just copy exactly what I write down because those are things that I have experience in. Those are things that I know that I can do. If you think you just copied exactly what I did, give yourself a second to go back and cross out things that you're like, I'm not sure about that, or I've actually never done that specific thing, or add in things that I didn't say that I could do. Pause here and press play again when you feel like you've got a good list that's personalized to you. It's not about me, it's about you, of skills from that advertisement that you know you can do. Side note, professional advertisements are very often filled with long and intimidating sounding words like liaising with stakeholders, for example, or high standard of digital literacy. Those are just fancy words for very simple things. Liaising with stakeholders means talking to or emailing people. High standard of digital literacy just means you know your way around a computer. So don't let that fool you. If you see a long word or fancy phrase you've never heard the meaning of before, just Google the definition of it. Or even better, just ask ChatGPT to put that word or that phrase in layman's terms for you and see how simple it is. Because very often they come up with very fancy words for very simple things and talk people out of applying for a job they'd actually be really, really good at. I guarantee 9 times out of 10, you're going to find out what the word or phrase means and think to yourself, is that all? Is that all? Anyone can do that. I can do that. All right, looking at my list, I can see that it's pretty long. But if I pay closer attention, I can probably see that some of the things kind of mean the same thing. They're just worded a little bit differently. So, for example, take and handle customer orders with accuracy and efficiency, provide exceptional customer service, addressing customer inquiries and resolving issues promptly and courteously, and positive attitude, enthusiasm, and a passion for delivering outstanding customer service. All of those things really mean one thing. It's got 3 very long sentences just to say they want exceptional customer service. So I can probably condense all those 3 things into one dot point, exceptional customer service. So let's turn back to your workbooks for a moment. If you're not using the workbook, just write a quick heading that says skills I think I have. Under that heading, you're going to write one dot point that summarizes what the skill is, in this case, customer service. And then in brackets next to it, we're going to write every single word they used in the advertisement to describe that skill. So for example, that would look like customer service, and then in brackets, we would write accuracy, efficiency, resolving issues, courteously, positive attitude, passion. Now, why did I just do that? Because if I jotted down every single thing in that advertisement that I could do exactly the way that they wrote it, the list would be endless, which means my cover letter would be endless. And I'd be repeating myself over and over and over again, which would just bore anyone to tears who is reading my cover letter. We are combining our ideas so that when someone reads our cover letter, it flows really well from one point to the next. It's paragraphed, it looks beautiful, it's easy to read, and nobody gets bored and goes to sleep. That stops us from talking about customer service and then hygiene and then customer service again, because instead of looking at the things in the job advertisement that we can do, we are summarizing the things in the job advertisement that we can do into easy dot points. Anybody can follow along. So why did I add the describing words in brackets next to customer service? Well, because I want the person reading my cover letter to know that A, I actually read the application and I'm using their specific words, and B, that it's not just that I have this skill, it's that I have this skill to the level or degree that they want me to have it. So instead of just saying that I have customer service skills, I can say I'm passionate about customer service skills. I can resolve issues courteously and promptly. All of a sudden, I look like the person that they're looking for. And if I'm using the exact words from their advertisement, they know that I wrote this cover letter specifically for them. It's not a one-size-fits-all that I've sent out to everyone. It's specifically for them, which shows that I care, which shows that I'm going the extra mile, which is only going to make them think that I'm great, that I'm the best, I'm the one they want to hire, which at the end of the day is a very, very good thing. So customer service is my first dot point. What else are they looking for? The next ones that I would link together are ensure the cleanliness and sanitization of the food prep area, and excellent attention to detail and a commitment to maintaining cleanliness and hygiene standards. I would break that down into one dot point, clean. And then in brackets, I would write attention to detail, hygiene standards, sanitization of food prep area. Pause here if you need to, and remember, this isn't about writing down exactly what I write. If you don't think you have good attention to detail or hygiene, then don't write it down, don't summarize them together. This cover letter is for you. I'm responding to it for me, but you need to respond to it for you because you're the only one who can. The next ones I would add together are ability to multitask and prioritize tasks effectively, and demonstrated ability to handle fast-paced and high-pressure situations. Now, this one's a bit complicated. I wouldn't link them together because they're the same thing, but I would link them together because I achieved one by doing the other. It is because I multitask and prioritize that I am able to handle high-pressure, fast-paced environments. So I'm going to stick them together because it's really easy to talk about them together. And my dot point would be handle fast pace. And then in brackets, I would write high pressure, prioritize, multitask. The next two that I would stick together are strong communication skills and the ability to work effectively in a team, collaborate with team members to ensure smooth operation during peak hours. And I would link them together because they are both about teamwork, so that would be my dot point. And then in brackets, I would write collaborate and communicate. Now, the other ones might not seem to have a lot in common, but they actually do. Each one of them relates to performing a task that is fairly common in both customer service and the food industry. Flexibility to work various shifts, including weekends and holidays, assist in the opening and closing duties as assigned, maintain stock levels and replenish supplies as needed, handle cash transactions and operate point of sale system. I would simply summarize that as perform work tasks. And then in brackets, I would write handle cash, POS, stock levels, open and close, flexibility. Now, it's important to note here that I didn't include every single skill or quality that job advertisement was asking for. I just included the ones that I knew I could do or I knew I had experience with. So let's review for a second. Your first task is to separate out the skills that you can do from the ones that you can't. You can do this by highlighting them or by writing a list. The next task is to figure out if any of them mean the same thing or are closely related to one another. They might not be, but very often there's some things you can link together. You could do this by highlighting them in their groups. For example, everything to do with customer service, you might highlight yellow. Everything to do with hygiene, you might highlight blue, and so on and so on. Then you group together the ones that need to be grouped and simplify them down to a single dot point and a few descriptive words in brackets. Once you've done that, you've completed lesson 1. You're ready to move on to lesson 2. So I'll see you there. Good luck. And if you found this lesson useful, make sure to pay it forward and share it with someone who could benefit from it too. We don't gatekeep around here. We share help as far and as wide as possibly can. So make sure to share it with anyone you think will benefit from it too.